Riser.
Let me just say, that is wildly optimistic. But I appreciate it. Thank you. Good evening, Vancouver. Lovely to see you. I'm so glad you're here. I have so many things to tell you, none of which are important, just so we're clear. Nothing said tonight will have any political, social, cultural relevance. To be honest, if I'm being honest with you, no redeeming value, frankly. None at all. So if you leave tonight thinking, wow, he really got me thinking, that's on you. Didn't come from me. Before we go any further, how about a hand for Michael Averill? How about that? And Mike Mom. It was really fun. Not to be competitive, but I got here yesterday, walked from Los Angeles, and you know what? 4,100 miles, so again, not to be competitive. It is, I'm so glad you're here. It's what a lovely city you have. How long has this been going on? Beautiful, beautiful. And it's a weekend, happy Friday. To those of you who celebrate. I don't want to presume, not everybody celebrates everything. So, and people get very touchy if you wish them the wrong happy. They do that. Well, we don't celebrate that. We celebrate that. You wish them, oh, no, we celebrate that. People get very touchy. I have the solution. Ready? Here's the answer. If anybody wishes you anything nice, just say thank you and move on. That's all. Just say thank you. Thank you. Move on. You don't have to qualify, quantify, or identify. It just doesn't commit you to any particular affiliation or active participation. Just say thank you. Somebody says, hey, happy National Cantaloupe Day. You don't go, hey, I don't eat cantaloupe. Nobody asks you to. Nobody asks you to. Just say thank you and move on. Personally, I take a good wish from anybody. Even people that probably shouldn't. Like you ever been to the airport or, and some over-caffeinated, overzealous believer comes over and says, hey, can I pray for you? I always go, yeah, would you? Thank you. As long as I don't have to do anything, right? I don't have to listen to it because I got a plane to catch, that's the only reason. But as long as, hey, if I'm going through security and you want to lob a nice prayer at my head, go for it. Because, by the way, I couldn't stop you. How do I know what you're thinking? As long as it's good. I don't want a bad wish. I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. If somebody said, hey, may I put a curse on you? Would that be okay if I just wish your soul to burn in eternal damnation? Would that be okay? In that case, I'd have to go, I'd rather you didn't. But on the other hand, you know what? I got the other guy. He's praying for me. So it's going to be a wash. Have at it. Have at it. I'm so impressed that you're here, by the way. I'm grateful that but that you I know what it takes. You got up, you bought a ticket, you drove down, you parked, you made arrangements. God bless you. I can't do it. I can't. I don't care how good the show is. It's hard to muster the enthusiasm. They go, hey, Springsteen's coming to town with Sinatra and Elvis. They're coming back. It's one night only. There are three of them. Wow. Should we go? Yeah, I don't know. You got to park and we'll get on. Now we'll just say we went. Nobody's going to know. It's a big show. It's hard to, I'm a big fan of staying in. Have you been outside lately? Yeah, it's not good. I'm a big fan. I'm very different. My wife is very different. My wife is much more adventuresome. She's much more ambitious. She likes to do things. And we were invited to. This is stupid. Like our neighborhood, our neighbors were having an open house, wine and cheese. He says, for the whole neighborhood, it'd be nice for all the neighbors and have wine and cheese. I said, I'd rather chew off my own foot. I don't need to do. I've had wine. I've had cheese. I'm good. Because you have to make chit chat with people and stupid conversation. How did you two meet? I don't give a shit. And if they tell me, I'm not going to remember. So what do I put them through? We were invited to some stupid event. It's like I don't know what it was. It was stupid. I didn't want to go. My wife didn't want to go. I said, well, all right, well, that's easy. Neither of us want to go. That's a no-brainer. Neither of us want to go. She said, yeah, but I think that's why we should go. What are you saying? What? She said, just to push ourselves, to get out of our comfort zone. I said, why would I do that? I said, do you understand the concept of a comfort zone? Because I don't think you do. Let me walk you through it, sweetheart. A comfort zone is an area, it's a collection of experiences and sensibilities that I have curated for myself after years of experimentation and self-evolving. I have designed this whole zone inside of which I'm very comfortable. Whereas outside the zone, less so. So why would I step out of the zone? Let me put it to you this way. Say you're going to take a bath. You get the water just the right height, just the perfect temperature. You take off your clothes. Would you sit on the floor outside the tub? No. But I'm lucky. I married a wonderful woman initially. But you know what? I did. I married a wonderful woman. I'm very lucky. We've been together almost 40 years. And yeah, thank you. No presents, just sharing. Yeah, 40 years. And can I be honest? It's enough. It's great. Don't get me. It's all good. But it's not all good. But it's all good. It's all good. You look close. So you have to get perspective. It's like looking at Earth from space. You go, it's all good. Looks all good. You zoom in close. Oh, it's not all good. No, it's all good. But it's like Vegas. You gotta know when to walk away. Just I don't want to wait till it turns to shit. Walk away while everybody has a good memory. No, I am lucky. She's a wonderful woman. We're very compatible, and I'm happy to share that after all these years, there were still surprises. Here's one. This is new. We inadvertently frighten each other. I don't just by being. Just the mere fact of our existence. I'll walk into the room, honey, no, geez, who did you think it would be? She said, don't sneak up. I didn't sneak. I said, honey, that was my icebreaker. That was my opening salvo. And I was going to talk more, but then you screamed, so I didn't. She said, well, start sooner, further. Just ramp into it a little bit. So I tried that. The next day from down the hall, I said, honey, what time do we have to go? I can't hear you from the other room. I go, okay, pick one. You gotta pick one. Because hearing has become an issue. For both of us, we both don't hear quite as crisply as we used to. And we've made adjustments. I'll share this with you. When we watch TV, we put on the subtitles right away. We don't even wait to get confused. It's in English. Let me make it clear. The show is in English. And I recognize so many of the words, but they're just not coupling together. That's my... It's great, because otherwise you lose too much time. What did he say? He said the bomb was on, but now I didn't hear what the other guy said, because he was talking. We have the subtitles, they're great, but even they don't always help. We're watching a scene with like 8 people talking at the same time. Hit the subtitles, it says indistinct chatter. I go, even he don't fucking know. I already knew it was indistinct, that's why I asked for help. I was hoping you could make it distinct, but no. But I love that they can pull it up, they can tell you what they're saying. I think they could do more. Besides telling me what they're saying, how about explaining to me what the hell's going on? That would be helpful. I don't always follow it that close. They hit a little button. He's the guy from last week that put the bomb on. Okay, that's what I missed that because she was talking. I mean, it's great that they have all these features that we didn't used to have. We just take them for granted. You can stop the movie, pull up the bios on all the actors, look at some of the movies they've been in. I think they could be more specific. For instance, how about tell me which movie of his did I see? That would be helpful. But he was the brother in the Kate Winslet movie that you keep saying is Kate Blanchett. Yes, that's true. Where did we see that movie? Your cousin Marty's house. Yes, that's true. Some movies, we're very selective about what we watch. Because, again, the going out thing becomes an issue because my wife will say, we can't just always sit home and watch TV. We can't always just sit home and watch TV. And I said, well, that's not fair, really. It's not accurate. But I'm not just watching TV. I'm also eating. So simultaneously, I'm multitasking, if you want to do it. At the same time. I don't know when this happened in the evolution of man, but eating and watching TV have to happen at the same time. I can't eat unless the TV is on, and conversely, if the TV is on, I have to be lifting food to my lips. I need the fork and the remote on top, two tools of my tray. Fork. You need the remote because sometimes you have to call an audible and change it. We spend a lot of time selecting. I'm saying we're very selective about what we watch. You have to find just the right entertainment that hits your respective moods and time and taste. I'll be honest, often we spend the time spent selecting the show longer than the show. And while you're scrolling, you're already eating, right? Now, if the show is on, you're out of food. You gotta go get more food because you're watching without the food. So I'll go into the kitchen, get more food, and my wife is very courteous, very thoughtful. She says, want me to put it on pause so you don't miss anything? And I always go, no, I don't care. That's how important the show is not. I don't need to know what's happening. I don't need to watch it. I just need it on so that I can eat and sustain my body weight. That's the only reason. Can't watch everything. Certain movies I can't watch anymore. Scary movies. Can't do it. I used to love scary movies. Somebody jumps out of a closet and you go, no! And then you laugh about how scared you get. Now I don't get scared. I just get angry. Somebody pops out of a closet. I go, come on, asshole, don't do that. Come on. There's no call for that. Walk through the door like everybody else in the movie. You scared me. The other thing, I can't watch. I can't watch any movie where there's a child in peril. Once you have kids, you can't do it. You can't. And I'm not talking about like kidnapping or just anything. I can watch buildings blow up and planets explode, but if there's a toddler running near a glass coffee table, I'll shit myself. I go, hey! Who's got the kid? I don't like anything when anybody gets hurt. I need it calm and tranquil. You know my favorite show? Screensaver. I'll watch that all day. The jellyfish, are you kidding? 45 minutes, I can watch that straight. I make up my own stories. The big one, he's the leader. He's the head jellyfish. Now, they're going, now they're in Dubai. Look at that, they changed cities. Now they're in Dubai, the jellyfish convention. Is there less oxygen up here? Because I'm close to a stroke. Seriously. Are we on Jupiter? Hold on. People are making me thirsty. I just need a little water and a heart-lung machine. I'll be right back. It is nice to be, it is so beautiful up here. I have friends that moved up here from LA and they went and they said, you gotta come up here, it's beautiful. I said, how beautiful could it be? We came up with, really beautiful. It's really nice. And LA, it's been a tough year. We had the fires that were just devastating. We were very lucky. Our family was lucky. We were just beyond where the fires were. So we didn't have to evacuate. We were told to be ready to evacuate, which was, and luckily we have me, because I've read every article, I know everything, every note. The things they tell you to get ready, there were 3 things that every list will have. Do you know what the 3 things are? Change of clothes, prescription medications, and photo albums. Those are the 3 things. In any evacuation, we have the clothes, the meds, photos. Because that way, even if you lose everything, you have change of underwear, Lipitor, and pictures of when you were thinner. So that's but it takes the sting out of it. You go, yeah, we lost everything, but look how good I used to look. Look at that. The clothes and the meds are easy. Photos are tricky because they're not in one place. Clothes are all in the closet, right? Meds are all in the medicine cabinet. We had photo albums, they're all over the place. We had like 37 albums. So I'm running around getting the photo albums, putting them in the car. Then I remember, wait, we got shoeboxes. Shoeboxes filled with pictures we never put in the album, so now I'm gathering those. Put those in the car. Then I go, oh wait, we got that big box in the basement. Framed photos we never put back after we put them in the car. Now the car is filled. No room for anybody, just photos. The dog is outside the car going, hello. I said, sorry, can't take it. Jammed up with pictures of dogs we used to have. Better luck next time. But in an emergency, I'm the guy. I'm very good. I'm great in an emergency. Also good when there's no emergency. You know? It's in the middle. I struggle in the middle because I feel like it's not time to panic, but no time to relax. I don't know how to gauge urgency, which is a problem. We like this time, we had everything. I got the clothes, got the nets, got the pictures in. And I didn't stop there. I got a big thing of water for us in case we had to drive. Got a 10-pound bag of almonds. I got 42 cans of tuna we bought in 2007. Just for this kind of situation, and I'm sure that they're still good because fish doesn't go bad. So put those in the car. So I had everything was ready, and I came back in the house and I was watching the news, and I'm lying down on the couch watching the news. The lying down didn't sit well with my wife. She felt that was a bit casual. She said, "Really? You're lying down now?" I said, "Well, yeah, no, I'm not. Yes, I'm lying down, but I'm watching the news. They didn't say to evacuate." She said, "Did they say to lie down?" I said, "They don't tell you that, sweetie. That's more of a personal preference." I felt bad, so I got up and I was watching the news standing for 3 hours. Luckily, we didn't have to evacuate because I was exhausted. I said, "You know what? I gotta lie down. I've been standing since 4:30. We're not going anywhere." But I'll tell you what I've learned in always have a plan. You gotta have a plan, especially if you have kids. If you have little kids, because kids look, they need the assurance that you're in charge, and they need to know. So even if you don't have a plan, fake it. Just fake it, and because they need it. I remember we have 2 boys, one of whom I don't care for, and that's not to share that. The other ones I got no problem, but when they were little, I remember the day it all went bad. My younger son, this is my younger son, the one who's going to be cut from the will. So he was like 10 maybe, and we were on vacation, and we were hiking. I say hiking like this. It was outside, that's my point. We were doing that outdoors. They said hiking trail. I said, "Look at us hiking." So it was a beautiful day. It was a lovely father-son day, and out in nature, and we're walking through the trees and stuff. And we come to a clearing, and we see a little off in the distance a pack of deer, a herd of deer, however they come, a group, a bunch of a school of deer. And it was beautiful. They weren't doing anything. We just watched them from a distance. They were eating. It was a beautiful, beautiful pastoral moment. Until a bug went in my mouth. And I wasn't thinking. I just went, "Wah!" Yeah, don't do that with deer. They all froze. And then the head deer is huge. He was like the leader. He had like huge antlers, muscles, tattoos, and like an ammo belt. It was like the Dwayne Johnson of deer. And the big. He kind of just froze and he looked at me like, "Seriously?" I went, "Okay, all right, we got a problem." So my son, he looks at me and goes, "Oh, what do we do?" Because I'm the dad. So I said, "Relax, I got a plan. Here's the plan." He said, "We're going to back up slowly and we're going to turn around, and when we're fully turned, we're going to run." He said, "Run? Come on, Dad, deer are the fastest animals in the world." I said, "Yes, but we have a head start. So like 75 yards. I don't imagine they could catch us." He said, "What if they do?" I said, "I got a plan for that too." Okay, you see that tree, the big tree? We're going to run and stand on the other side of that tree. He said, "Why?" I said, "Because maybe they won't think to look behind the tree." And it was in that moment I saw my son's innocence leave him. It just, like in the cartoons when the soul floats up, it just left him. He looked at me, he said, "You don't have a plan at all, do you?" I said, "Yes, I do. We're going to grab our photos and underwear and sprint the hell to the car. That's what we're going to do." So you won't need the pictures, but you'll be happy for the fresh underwear, trust me. Let me say this about underwear, as long as you brought it up. Everybody talks, there's so many types of underwears out there, and choices, and briefs, and boxer briefs, and bikinis, and G-string. To me, there's really only 2 types of underwear. There's 2 types. There's good underwear, and then there's underwear that's a little tired. When I say tired underwear, we all have tired underwear. When I say tired, it still does the job, just not with the same enthusiasm that it used to. It's like a veteran ball player. His playing days are coming to an end, but you don't have the heart to cut him, so you keep him on the team. It's just for the spirit of the group. You know? And the only reason I bring it up is the underwear we choose every morning will affect your day. It affects how you, like if you have something important, like a job interview, go with the good underwear. Don't fool around, don't save it. Go with the good, because it will give you confidence. You don't even know where it's coming from, but good underwear will just give you a sense of self. You'll be in that interview going, I'm going to get this job. I feel it. This whole area feels special. I don't even know what's going on. I just feel it. I'm going to get this job. Whereas bad underwear is the opposite. Bad underwear will deplete you. You'll lose your confidence. You'll just same suit, same interview, but if underneath you got ratty, draggy, saggy drawers, you're going to go, I'm not going to get this job. I know it. I know it. You know what? I don't even deserve it. I've made some bad choices this morning. I hope he stops talking to me. I just want to go home and change. I wish we didn't even have this problem. I envision a world where everybody has nothing but good underwear. That's my dream. That's my dream. I dream of a world of good underwear. I like to have manageable dreams. You know? Like world peace, that would be nice, but that seems harder. We don't know how you pull that off. But a world of good underwear seems within reach. It seems, in fact, many of you are probably sitting there going, yeah, what's the big deal, man? Just throw out the bad underwear, go get some new underwear. If only it were that simple. If only it were that simple. Because here's the problem. And I think you know this, when you introduce new underwear into the scenario, it changes the dynamic of the existing underwear population. Everybody takes a step down the evolutionary ladder, right? So to get the worst pair, you throw that out, but now to make room for the new pair, everybody takes a step down. So what yesterday was good underwear, now that's the bad underwear. So it's a vicious cycle. You see what I'm saying? You can't, there's no way well, there is a way. You can do it if you want it. You have to really want it, and you have to be bold. But here's how you do it. Jot this down. I'm giving you gold here. Here's how you do it. Take all your underwear, and even what you're wearing, just lose it, pull the pants up, go down to the store, throw all the underwear out, run to the store, and get 12 new pair, put them in your drawer. Now, it's possible, but to my knowledge, it's never happened. What kind of idiot's going to throw out all those underwear? You're not going to do it. You're going to save one pair in case there's a fire in the night. So, some people are very proud of their underwear. Some people want you to see their underwear. They make little cuts, or they wear their certain height just so you can see their underwear. They're very proud. Very proud. There's my underwear. You see it? There's my underwear. Whereas if you see underwear by accident, that's humiliating. Oh, I think you saw it. On purpose, good. By accident, terrible. Even if it's not on anybody, just seeing underwear by accident is never good. You ever see, like, you're crossing the street and there's just a pair of discarded drawers in the street and you go, oh, look away. I don't know what happened there. I can't even concoct a story how that would have happened. But look away. You just don't want to see. Well, like sometimes you're at the airport and you're waiting for the bags coming down. And every once in a while there's just an unfortunate suitcase. It's had a rough journey. And this stuff comes out. And all their personal things are on display. And you're sitting there going, oh, I wouldn't want to be that guy. Look away. Let the guy gather it in peace. Just don't look away. I remember one time I was waiting for my bag, and this one suitcase comes down. It was just ripped to shreds, and everything from the inside was now on the outside tape. They taped it. The airlines taped it up with clear tape, transparent tape. So you can see, all you can see is a big square of underwear, socks, pajamas, underwear. And you go, oh, I wouldn't want to be that guy. And it gets a little closer, I go, oh, that's my bag. That's my bag. It's mine. And my wife goes, relax, everybody here has underwear. I go, yes, but we don't see theirs, do we? No, we just see mine. And when I go to get it, they go, all right, well, that's whose underwear that is. That's what we want to avoid, is the connection. Like, I'm not saying I don't have underwear. I just would have liked to have been able to go, it's not that. It's like that, but that's not mine. Right? You want a little distance. You just, that's this crazy thing. We're always embarrassed about the things that we all have in common. We shouldn't be embarrassed. We all have underwear, we all have bodily functions, we all have relatives who say stupid shit. We should be, okay, but no, we're always embarrassed, You just don't want to be connected to a specific. You ever go to a public restroom, and as you open the door, you realize the guy before you has done some horrendous business, which is bad enough. But worse than that is the fear that the guy after you will think that was you. That's what you want to avoid. I've stopped total strangers just to clear it up. I go, sir, look, you don't know me, I don't know you. I just need you to know that was not me. Well, you'll see when you open the door, you're going to feel a burning sensation in your eyes. Like a stinging. Yeah, and I'm just here to say that's the guy before me. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm better than that guy. I've certainly done that kind of damage. I'm capable of that kind of damage. I've done it in the past. I'm sure I'll do it in the future. I just didn't do that. Okay, that particular nightmare is not of my own making. I told you this would not be important stuff. I told you that. They're very nice people. Hold on. I say you're very nice. I don't know you long, but you seem nice. You know what they say? Strangers are just friends you haven't met yet, which I love that. Because the friends I have met, not enjoying. I'm just tired of my friends. It's not nice, but it's true. Sometimes you look through your contacts, I got to refresh this list. I don't even know who some of these people are. It says, Eddie G, don't call after 7. Okay. I don't know who it is. I'm not calling before or after 7. I don't know. I have a problem too, because I listen to my friends, and I don't know how to say no. And I have one friend who, okay, this happened. A friend of mine, she referred me to a doctor who I come to find out later, not really a doctor. But you know when your friends are enthusiastic about something and they have to share it? So she says, oh, you gotta go, this guy's great. I found the greatest doctor, he's like a magic healer. I'm telling you, this guy is like he's a magician. She said, it's not, it's not like traditional Western medicine. I said, oh, so Chinese, Eastern medicine? She said, no, he's from Russia. So I guess it's like Northern medicine? I said, you know, that's not a thing. There's no north. She said, but this guy, let me tell you, he's great. She said, I had a thing, my foot was killing me. I couldn't figure it out. Nobody could help me. One visit, the guy fixed my foot. She said, I sent my brother, he had chronic back pain for years. He had chronic back pain, nobody could help him. 2 visits, guy fixed his back. She said, not only that, she said, my cousin had cancer. 3 visits, took away the cancer. I said, forgive me, seems like a wide range of specialty, does it? Does he not have an area of expertise that he's honed in on? She said, no, whatever you got, the guy's like a genius. She said, you gotta go. I said, well, I feel fine. She said, well, you'll feel even better. I said, well, okay, who doesn't want to feel better, right? So this is how clever I am. So I make an appointment, I go, and it's like in the crappiest part of town, and it's a residential area, not even a house, it's like over somebody's garage in the back. And I called my friend, I said, are you sure this is the right address? Doesn't look like an office. She said, oh, yeah, okay, he doesn't have an office per se, because legally he's not allowed to practice in the United States. She said, but in Russia, he was a god. All the biggest people, he handled all the biggest people. I said, well, why did he leave Russia? She said, still unclear. I said, okay. So I had a bad feeling, but I want to believe. He did the foot, the back, and the cancer. I figured he's got to be doing something, right? So, okay. So I go up these rickety steps, open the apartment. It's like just a shithole. It's like weird, like a combination old world elegance and new world crack den. Just like, like velvet drapes, but they're ripped, and a chandelier, but socks hanging from it. And his wife is sitting there at the table, middle of the afternoon, in a full evening gown and a fake tiara, eating cornflakes out of a ladle. Just like this little Fellini movie. I don't know what's happening here. But he did the foot, the back, and the cancer, so I'm determined, okay, he's going to help me feel better. So I'm waiting a couple of minutes. Finally, the doctor, he comes out from the back. It's like this tall, like a Russian Danny DeVito, like that. And he says, come on back. So I go back to his office. And I use the word office generously. It wasn't like a real office. He had a phone and a table. You know the table with the paper? But no paper here. Table. So I sit precariously on the edge of the table, and he looks at me and says, so tell me, what's your problem? I said, to be honest, I don't have a problem. It's just my friend spoke so highly of you, I thought you tell me, take a look, see what's going on. He said, but you don't have any concern? I said, well, stomach, sometimes a little stomach. He goes, let's take a look. So I said, you lie down on the table. So I lie on the table, it's like a brick wall, the table, no paper, lying down there, and he doesn't touch me, and he doesn't even look at me. He's got his eyes closed, and he just waves his hand. He goes, okay, I see the problem. We're going to take it out. Oh, what are we doing now? What are we doing? Surgery? He goes, no, surgery. Just, you have the bad energy, a blockage. You have a blockage, we'll take it out. I said, and he said, we take it out, and we how do you say, we plug it? Flick. Yeah, we flick it, and we flick it, and we take it out. I said, okay. Again, did the foot, the back, and the cancer. Let's go with it. Okay. Let's paint the picture. I'm on wall. Me, Danny DeVito. He's not touching, he's not looking, so and he's taking my mojo, whatever it is, and whoa, and he's flicking it in the corner. Okay, doesn't hurt me, I'm not losing anything. Okay. Phone rings. He takes the call. Okay. Not my favorite thing, taking a call mid-procedure, but okay. Takes the call, he listens for a second, and he turns to me, he says, I have to apologize, I have an emergency, I have a patient, she's pregnant, and she has a blockage. He said, I have to give her a quick treatment over the phone. I said, what are you doing now? Over the phone, you're going to do this? He says, yes, it's the same for you. I go, I guess it is. I'm here. He's not touching, he's not looking. I can be on the phone. Okay, I'm with him. So now, again, wall, me, Danny DeVito. But now he's on the phone, doing this, throwing her shit on me. Hey, let's not do that. Come on, hey. I don't know what it is, but I don't want it. I know that. So don't come flicking. I couldn't get out of there fast enough. And I'm driving home thinking, well, that was a waste of time and money. Let me tell you something. 3 days later, stomach pain. Entirely gone. However, I now have an irregular menstrual cycle, so he did something. That's my point. He did something. But my friends, they're good people. My friends are good people. They're just, many of them are odd. I have one friend, my friend Barry, I shouldn't even say his name. Ed. Let's say it's Ed. My friend Ed, we know it's Barry. He, very accomplished guy, very successful, but he says things and he asks things that really need never be spoken, and then they stay in my head, and it becomes my problem. So we're sitting around one day, and apropos nothing, he says, let me ask you, when do you think they invented the word hello? What? This is what you're worried about? You never watched the news? Have you not seen this other thing? He said, no, it's it. Think about it. Hello is the first thing we say, but you think it was the first word that cavemen invented? I said, well, now you got me thinking. I said, let me think about it. I said, you know what? I don't think cavemen would have said hello. Certainly not the first thing. I think the first words would have been more urgent, like fire, or kill, or too salty, things like that. I said, plus I think it was the first word spoken. It would confuse the other cave people. This is my, guy, nobody's ever spoken. People are sitting outside the cave. This guy walks by and he goes, hello. They go, kill. They wouldn't like it, So I said, I don't think it would have been cave. I said, it could have been the British. I said, the British, they love the hello. Hello, governor. Hello, mate. Hello, pal. Hello, ducky. Hello. I don't know if they invented it, but they certainly ran with it. You know what I mean? They added the repetition, cut off the H. Hello. I said, so to answer your question, I would say hello was invented post-caveman, pre-British Empire. And he said, I think you're right. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just pulled that out of my ass. I don't know. But then he had me thinking about it for days. I'm thinking, hello, it's an interesting word. It's one of the only boomerang words. When you say it, it comes right back. You say hello, and the person will go, hello. It comes right back. It's a boomerang. That's why we use hello to test for an echo, right? Nobody stands at the Grand Canyon and yells, pants. Salad tongs. Wouldn't come back. Hello, comes right back. It's also one of the few words that works as a complete sentence. Hello, period. That's it. Hello, period. No verb, no noun, no adjective, no clause, just hello. Unless you're answering the phone. And it's not hello, period. Then it's hello, question mark. Hello, question mark. Different on the phone, because you don't know if maybe there's nobody there. You don't want to waste a bit. Hello, God damn it, nobody there. Or maybe there is somebody, but it's not somebody you want to talk to. So you have to be careful. You have to vet it. You're very tentative. Hello? Oh, it's you. Okay, I thought it was Barry. Okay. So that's your hello period, then you got hello question mark. That's your telephone hello question mark. When you walk into your house, that's even different. That's hello, ... That's more of a ... Hello. Maybe somebody there, maybe someplace there is no, you think there's nobody there. Then you hear something upstairs. Then you go, Hello? Dot, 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 and a question mark. Is there somebody there? I mean, there is somebody there, but I'm asking who. That's what I'm saying. Who's that? Who's up there? Because it could be a burglar. How are you going to know? Gotta ask. Is there a burglar? Very rarely do they respond. Yes, it's a burglar. I'm going through your drawers. Man, you have a lot of underwear. Can I say that? That's just a long way to go for that callback. That's time we never get back. No, don't encourage. I have one friend, good friend. How did I miss? It's such a drank before, but suddenly today in Canada, it's all going to shit. I don't know what's happening. Stroke, can't drink. I don't know what's happening. What was I saying? Oh yes. So I have one friend, good friend, that I don't talk to anymore. And you know why? You know why I don't talk to him? He annoyed me. And I'm at the point in life I have a one-strike rule. You know what? Annoy me, that's it. Hell, I don't talk to him. That's it. Why don't you call him? I'm working. Nah, the hell with it. I don't talk to him. I don't talk. Because you know, to have me talk to you is such a treat that if I withheld it, he'd break. He'd snap like an autumn twig. He couldn't take it. And you know, because guys don't know how to work through stuff like that. Guys are not really skilled. And I don't know how to fight with friends. I know how to fight with my wife. But that's because we practice a lot. You know, you put in the time, you develop an expertise. But friends in marriage is different. Fighting in marriage, it's like baseball. It's a long season. So even if you lose a few in a row, it'll work out by the end of the year. You know, it all works out. But friends, you don't have that kind of, commitment. And whether it's friends or marriage, the best way to resolve things, be mature, talk it out, and if it's appropriate, apologize. Sometimes apologies, there are miracles. A lot of people don't like to apologize. They think it's a sign of weakness. Couldn't disagree more. It's a superpower. If you apologize sincerely, people will crumble. They can't, no matter how pissed off somebody is, they go, I'm so pissed. And you go, you know what, you're right. And I gotta say, I'm sorry. They go, yeah, it's over. Gotta go. But you gotta mean it. It has to be sincere. Can't be one of those passive-aggressive, I'm sorry you feel that way. See, no, I feel that way because of what you said. Well, I'm sorry that you heard it that way. Okay, again, I heard it because you said it. Well, and I'm sorry that you remember it that way. Okay, why don't we pull up a chair because we're going to be here a while. Sometimes you get a surprise apology, like you didn't even know you were. I'm very good at I'm very good at apologizing. It costs me nothing. I'm happy to apologize. What I'm not good at is accepting the apology. Because to be honest, I enjoy the groveling. If somebody says, I owe you an apology, I go, I have been expecting you. Okay. Ever since you annoyed me. All right, let's hear it. And take your time. Stretch it out. Make it self-effacing and humbling. Sometimes you get a surprise apology, like you didn't even know you were owed one. Those are sweet. But they're a lot of work. Because you have to accept it, at the same time, first realize you should have been upset. Like my wife sometimes will go, hey, I'm sorry about this morning. I'll go, what are you talking about? And this morning in the kitchen, I was a little short with you. I'll go, yeah! That was not cool! Well, I'm saying, that's why I'm saying I'm sorry. Okay, but give me a minute. I didn't know about it until just now. Give me catch up. Some people give you one big apology, like an umbrella apology to cover a multitude of offenses. Don't like that. That's cheating. If there's a list, I'd like to go through it. Line item by line item. Let's go through it. I have a friend, good friend. We've been friends for years. Really close. But for the last couple of years, something was off. We just were banging heads, and every time we got together, I go, I don't know, is he mad at me? Did I say something? I don't know what's going on. He calls me one day, he says, listen, we got to talk. So we get together, and we sit down, he says, very sincerely, he said, look, I don't know if you've noticed things have been a little strange between us. I said, yes, I have. He said, well, there's a reason, and you wouldn't have known this, but for the last 5 years, every time we got together, I was stoned or high. I was drunk or high, and so I just want to say, I'm sorry. I went, oh, okay, but just to be clear, what, you're apologizing for what? He said, everything I've said since 2019. I said a lot of things. In fact, I have a list right here. I knew we were getting together, so I jotted a few down. He said, no, we don't have to go through every one. I go, no, we kind of do. We got to do. He said, no, but I'm making amends. I'm clear. I'm in the program and I'm making amends. That's part of the program. I said, wait, that's your program. This is my program. I have 7 pages typed up. And I don't mean to take it lightly. Anybody who's gone through that, I have nothing but respect and admiration. I was my friend. He had a problem, and he went in the program. He's a new person. I was jealous, to be honest. I was jealous. He's a new person. I'd like to be a new person. It's no treat being me. Trust me. This is no. And I have problems too. It's not drugs or alcohol, but my problem. I'll share this. My problem. If I had to put a label on it. I'm a little bit of an asshole sometimes. Not all the time. That would be too much. I ask people, is he an asshole? Not all the time. No, he isn't. Sometimes, occasionally. He's an occasional asshole. Like an occasional furniture, he's an occasional asshole. Like enough to be annoying, but not enough to warrant intervention. But I have qualities that I'm not proud of. I'll share this. Sometimes, I'll say to a friend, we should get together. And I don't mean it. Even as I'm saying it, I'm already thinking, it's not going to happen. I know it. I have self-destructive habits that I'll share this. Very often, late at night, I'll go into the kitchen, I'll eat too much cheese, and then I don't feel good. And the next night, I do it again. I'm not learning. That's my point. I don't learn. So is that a problem? Sure. Should we meet in the church basement to talk it out? I don't think so. It's going to be a waste of your time. Plus, I'm going to eat the cheese again tonight. So I'm not learning. That's my point. So there's no program. I don't get to be a new person. My friend, he gets to be a new person, which annoyed me. So now I don't talk to him either, by the way. So I'm down to like a skeleton crew. There's very few lingering. But hold on, I wrote this down because I have a memory of a small sparrow. Hold on. Memory starts to go. I don't know if you've gotten to there yet. That's one of the things they tell you as you get older. They always say your short-term memory will go, which is the long-term is good, but the short-term memory starts to diminish. And which basically means you remember your second grade teacher's name, but no idea where you parked. It's like that. So I've been expecting the hit to the short-term memory. What I didn't understand is just how short. It's a short term. It's a short term. I was talking to a friend. I said, hey, this trip you're going on, is that for business or are you going just for fun? He said, the latter. I went, I don't remember what order I just said. I just said it. That's not a memory. That's now. I'm losing my now. That's what's happening. Short term now. I bumped into a friend the other day, a good friend, and I hadn't seen him in a while. And we were doing the catch-up thing, how's the family and all. Little tip for you: when you ask about your friend's family, when your friends tell you how old their kids are, no matter what age they say, it is incumbent upon you to act shocked and impressed. Whatever they say. He's 14. Is he 14? Oh my goodness, God, he's 14. Isn't that something? Not really, no. I saw him last year, he was 13. It's a year later, he's gonna be 14. That's how it works. It's not magic. He's 14. So always act surprised. Well, sometimes you actually are surprised. You ever misjudge other people's kids by a lot? And you go, how's Emily? She must be what, in college now? She's 37. Well, how did she like college? 20 years ago, she did. So act shocked about the kid's age. Never act shocked about your friend's age, because that's just hurtful. That's hurtful. If your friend says, I just turned 70, don't go, fuck, really? Wow. That's like old. That's no kidding. Old. Wow. You know who's 70 generally? Old people. That's what that is. That's you hit it. You just hit it. Have you thought about senior care facilities yet? Because I have the brochures in the car just in case it happens. I don't know why we're so impressed. We're so amused and entertained by other people's age, but we are. Like, what, you like in magazines or online, something, they'll pop up a picture of a beautiful actress, in her day, and I'll go, you should see her now. And we like to think we're better people, but we're not. We're not. They go, you should see her now. I go, if you feel I should, okay. And so they show a picture of her now. She's 92. She's 92. It says, she's really changed. Yeah! She's 92. What's wrong with you people? 70 years, there's going to be a difference. She's going to change. And by the way, if she did look the same, we'd be just as catty. I think she's had work done. You think so? That's the only way she would look the same, 24 to 70 to 92. So pick your poison. You know, she's either going to look shockingly different or disturbingly the same. But either way, I'm embarrassed at how easily I'm manipulated. They go, you should see this. Now, they'll show you a picture of a beautiful model in a bikini, like this. And they go, you should see what happens next. I'd like to see what happens next. So you click, and now she's gone, and it's like an ad for a lawnmower or something. It's like a big fat guy on a John Deere. What happened to the girl with the mug? We don't know what happened to her. As long as we have you here, the Lawnmaster 3000 now has a rechargeable lithium battery. That's good, but it's not what you promised. They always do a little switcheroo. It's never what you think it's going to be. They just play with you. It always sounds juicy and enticing. Tom Hanks kept this secret for years. Tom Hanks secret. You look, you click. He enjoys chicken marsala. That's not really a secret, I don't think. You pulled a switcheroo, is what you did. I was involved in a switcheroo I was a victim of a switcheroo. I did a charity event with my buddy Jay Leno, and we've been friends for years. We did a show, and it was a charity event. We both have our suits and ties. We're taking pictures for the charity, and like this, me and him, and then me, nice pictures. The next day, on my computer, pops up that picture of me and Jay, and it says, "You should see where Jay Leno lives with his partner." Of course, my acting ego kicked in. My first thought was, why am I the partner? Why doesn't it say, you should see where Paul Reiser lives with this old guy? And I knew it was stupid. I know I don't live with Jay, but as I say, my memory is faulty. And there's a little part of me that's going, maybe I live with Jay. Is that possible? Why would they say that? So I clicked. I ended up buying a lawnmower. But you know what? I was just so relieved that I don't live with Jay. Jay's a great guy. You know what I admire? I mean, he's a great comic and a great guy. More than anything, I'm envious of his ability to fix things. He can build a car out of like a newspaper and a popsicle stick. I don't have that skill because there are guys who can fix things, and then there are guys who cannot. And then there's a third group, my group, where we not only can't fix it, but we make it worse. And I'm not talking about anything, I'm not trying to build a rocket ship. Simple things like hanging a picture. Okay, I know how to hang a picture, but it doesn't end well. I know that through experience, so I've stopped doing it. But I don't like admitting defeat. So, okay, I'll share this. So we had these two pictures, framed pictures, like this big. For months, they've been sitting on the floor, leaning against the wall, waiting to magically get put up. And one day I got inspired. I just said to my wife, I said, you know what? I'm going to hang these today. And my wife said, please don't, please don't. I said, why did you do that? Because she said, I got the number of a guy. I got a professional museum quality picture hanging guy. I said, we're gonna pay a guy to hammer or nail? No, that's embarrassing. It's emasculating. I'm not gonna, no. I said, I'm gonna do it. You know what? I'm gonna do it with the boys. We're gonna do a little family, little thing together. And I'm gonna teach them not about how to hang a picture, but how to push through, perceived limitations. You think you can't do something. So here's how clever I am. So I get the boy. I said, come on, we're gonna put these up for mom. So it's very simple, guys. You just need a hammer, a couple of hooks and nails, and a pencil and a ladder. Okay? So I get on a ladder. I hold the first picture up. I want to hold the picture up. I said, how does that look? My son says, shouldn't we measure? I said, no, you don't need to measure. You can eyeball it. Eyeballing is fine. That's how we do it. He said, that looks a little low. I said, okay, well, that's too high. I said, okay, a little to the left, no, a little to the right. I said, okay, all right. So I'm scuffing up the walls. I said, don't even worry about the scuff marks because they'll be concealed behind the frame. So that's very common. Don't even worry about the scuff mark. Okay, so we got it in the right place. So here's what we do. We take the pencil and make a little mark to show where the corners are. Okay, so now I got pencil marks and scuffing. Nothing good has happened yet. I'm on the ladder. I'm ready to hang the first picture. My wife walks in. She goes, that does not look right. Please just measure. She gives me a tape measure. Okay, so let me paint the picture for you. I have one picture, it's on the floor. I got the hammer under my arm. The other one, the picture is in this hand. I got the hook and the nail in my hand. I got the pencil in my mouth. I'm on the ladder. She gives me the tape measure. What happens in the next 2 seconds shouldn't be possible. And when I tell you, you go, well, that couldn't really happen. I'm going to go, I know, yeah, but it did. She gives me a tape measure. I measure it. I let go too quickly. The metal whips shut, cuts my finger. I went, ow! Hammer drops, breaks the picture on the floor. As I went, ow! I dropped the second picture, that's broken, and I squeezed so the nail went into my palm. And as I went, ow! The pencil went up, hit me in the eye. The pencil hit me in the eye. If you wanted to do that, you would find it's not really possible. Cirque du Soleil people can't pull that off. Literally in the span of 2 seconds, I broke 2 pictures, injured 2 hands, put an eye out, and ruined a perfectly good wall. I got pencil marks and scuffing, and now there's a streak of blood across the whole thing. It's like a Jackson Pollock painting. I couldn't see it clearly because one eye was shut, the other was welling with tears. But I turned to my boys, I said, what have we learned? They said, call the guy. I said, exactly, that's my point. Call the guy, there's no shame. No shame in asking for help. I got him up, because I wanted to do that for my wife. I did marry a wonderful woman. And it kind of annoys some of my friends who don't have good marriages. They're like, how do you do? I have one friend, he's like 50, mid-50s. He's not married, never been married, and he's never going to be married. And the reason I know that is he tells me defiantly, he goes, I'll never get married. I don't care what you say, I will never get married. I will never get married. And I tell him honestly, I don't care. I don't get a commission. You understand that, right? I don't work for the organization. I just had the little TV show. That was my extent. I'm not involved beyond that. He said, but he's mystified. Yet we've been together so long. He goes, how do you do it, man? Well, how do you spend your life with one woman? What's the secret? I said, well, I don't know the secret. What do I know? I said, I've only been married one time to one woman. I said, and by the way, in that time, I really only learned one thing. I said, if you want it, I'll tell it. I'll give it to you if it helps. I'll share it with you. This is what I told. The only thing I know to be true. And I told him, I said, when you're with a woman, sometimes you're going to want to say something. But if a little voice in your head says, I wouldn't say it now, you're going to want to listen to the voice. That's what it's there for. It's there to help you, asshole. You can have a question. It could be a reasonable question. But if you hear a voice going, okay, but don't ask right now, you'll never regret it. Nobody gets to the end of their life and goes, oh, if only I had asked more irritating shit. I couldn't. Oh, I had opportunities and I held my tongue. I never should have done it. Because by the way, even if what you want to say, even if what you want to say is nice and loving and sweet, it can come out wrong, as I have learned. So this happened. I'm watching my wife, who I adore, just so we're clear. And I'm watching her one day, and I was just struck. She was just doing the 1,000 things she does. And I was just watching her, and I was overcome with just gratitude and admiration and affection and appreciation. I just said, my God, I married such a wonderful woman. I'm so lucky. She does so many things. She does everything for us. She keeps the trains running. She was so lucky. And God, I don't know what I would do without her. I mean, if God forbid something ever happened to her, I'd be lost. I couldn't go on. My life would be empty and hollow without her. This is what I was thinking. So my wife sees me staring at her oddly. She says, what? Just what came out of my mouth. Nothing, I was just picturing if you were dead. You see what I'm saying? It's not reflective at all of what I was feeling. Very hard to come back from that. Very, very hard to dig out of that. And there are certain things that you can only learn after years of, on-the-job training. When I see people just getting married, I go, you have no idea. You have no idea what you're... Because you learn things over time. Here's something that I learned, and again, only over time. When we're sleeping, my wife, who I adore, when we're sleeping, She doesn't snore, because women don't snore. Having said that, there is a noise. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a noise coming out of this part of her that if you didn't know better, you go, that sounds like snoring. That's what that sounds like. And at first, I don't mind it. I actually I marvel at it. I find it adorable for a little bit. I go, wow, really? A face that beautiful can make a sound that atrocious. That doesn't seem like it should be. But after a while, you want to go to sleep. So here's what I learned. And again, only through time and experiment. You put your hand on the shoulder, and you want to show, not too hard, but not too soft. Just, you know what? Practice on the dog. Listen to me. Practice on the dog, and the dog is lying on the bed, and if she starts making noise, you push me, and if you hear, ah! That's too hard. That's how you know. Too hard. Dial that down. Dial that down. But you want to give a push firm enough. You want to break the breathing cycle. That's what you're really trying, and you'll know you succeeded when you hear this sound. That's what you're looking for. It's not pretty. I'll tell you right now. When you hear that, turn over and go to hell to sleep. Because if you linger, her eyes will open, and she'll just go, "You just fucking shove me?" And you're going to go, "No, I don't think so. In fact, I'm sleeping, so I don't even know why you're talking to me, because look." We have so many things in common, my wife. Here's how hard marriage is. We are so well suited. We are so well suited. We have. She's beautiful. She's brilliant. She's independent, successful. She's kind-hearted. She's a great mother. And we have the same. It's so compatible. We have the same sense of humor, same taste, same everything, same values. Couldn't be more well suited for each other. And still, with all of that, 3 out of 5 days I'm slamming my head against the wall. So that's how hard it is. People who don't have it, I don't. We have differences. We have some differences. My wife identifies as bi. I identify as cell. I'd like to get rid of more shit. She wants her. I'm a big fan of just less. Look, yeah, I know, but less. We've been downsizing. The kids have grown, and we're trying to we had to sell the house. You know, by the way, you cannot sell your house. I learned this. You cannot sell your house until you fix it up. Did you know that? Because the new people somehow deserve better than you. And let's be honest, nobody in the right mind is going to buy your place after what you and the kids have done to the joint. 20 years of stained carpets, ripped furniture, scuffed up walls. No, the new people deserve. You don't even know if there are new people, but you'd like there to be new people. So you get to work, and all the things that didn't bother you enough while you lived there, you're going to snap to it for these new people. So we got to work. We cleaned up the carpets, we did the sofas, painted the walls, outside, new shrubs, new flowers, new everything, new grass. The whole thing, landscape looked great. Look around and went, this place looks great. Boy, I wish we lived here. I'll tell you, it's not until you move that you realize just how much crap you've accumulated. You shouldn't have to move just to get rid of crap. You could theoretically get rid of a little crap every once in a while and whittle it down, but that's not how crap works. Crap likes to stay where it is, out of sight, where it grows in the dark. It grows in the dark. Just as your family has grown over the years, so has your crap. That's kind of the arc of life, if you think about it. The beginning of your life, just get stuff. You get to a point, I'll get rid of it. Accumulate, shed. That's it. We accumulate things and people. We accumulate people. Think about it. When you're young, you just get married, you meet people. You can't get enough new people, right? You go to a party. I like that couple. Get their numbers. I like them. And their friends too. They were nice. Get their numbers. We'll get together. We'll have dinner. If dinner goes well, we'll get an RV. We'll all go cross country. I feel very strongly about that. Can't get enough people. Then you get to a certain age, you go the other way. All these people that you were so eager to meet, now, I don't want to see these people anymore. I'm tired of these people. I don't want to see these people. I'm tired of these people. Should we get new people? No, I'm saying no more people. That's what I'm saying, no more people. No people, just you and me. That's how it's going to be now, just you and me. And frankly, some days, I would whittle that list down further. Let's try it. Let's play it out, you and me. But downsizing, you have to get rid of your crap. So the way to get rid of it, you go through, to get everything you have in a house, you put it there, and it has to go in 3 piles. Basically, there's 3 piles. Everything will go in 1 of 3 piles. There's the garbage pile, that's gone. There's the save pile, hang on to that. And the 3rd pile, the biggest one, not sure. It's going to ultimately be one of that. You're going to keep it or throw it out. But right now, you can't decide. Not sure. That's the holy trinity of downsizing. Garbage, save, not sure. Start with the garbage. Now, when you start with the garbage pile, here's the problem. Not everything in the garbage pile is garbage. Some of it still works. Those are the words that have kept this shit in your life year after year. You try to throw it out and you go, it still works. You know, to be ashamed. This Sony Walkman cassette player, I got to say, it's just like new. I mean, it still works. REO Speedwagon, listen to that, still going. You can't get rid of it. You know, that electric blanket, yeah, I know it's a ratty, disgusting, fiery death trap, but it still works. Look at that, still works. So what do? You got something, you don't want it, but it still works? Well, you have options. You could donate it, give it away, find somebody who could use it. You go, hey, the neighbor's kid is getting his first apartment. Give him that lamp. The lamp, I know the neck is wobbly and its neck is hanging by a thread, but give it to him. He's not going to read in the dark. Give him the lamp. Give him the lamp. Here's the problem with that. Kid might be insulted. Kid goes, this? You giving me this? It's a piece of crap. And you have to go, I know. That's why I'm giving it to you. I'm not going to keep crap. Could go the other way. You're giving me this? Oh, you're getting rid of this? I love this, thanks. That's where you'll go, you know what, let me have that back. I was on the fence, to be honest, but when I saw your enthusiasm, I realized I was a bit hasty. But one way or another, whether you give it away, throw it out, donate it, the garbage pile goes away. Save pile, that's easy. You just put it in a box, kick it down the road, you'll deal with it next time you move. You wait till you're dead and the kids can fight over who wants it less. But now you get to the hard part, the mother load, the not sure pile. That's where a lot of marriages and mental health go to die. Because everything has an argument. No, we can't get rid of it. No, we gotta throw it out. And what is in the not sure pile? It's always sentimental stuff. You go to the back of the closet and you go, look, the kids' finger paintings from kindergarten. Oh, look at that. The diorama of the Navajo village from 2nd grade that you and I did all the work on, if I remember correctly. You can't give it. Throw it out. Nobody wants it. It doesn't have any value. Don't put it back. It's not going to increase in value. It's not a Renoir. You know what I mean? Not a lot of activity on eBay of people going, if I could just find a picture of a 4-year-old's yellow sticky palm print with their name written illegibly in backwards letters, that would go lovely over the fire. No, throw it out. It's crap. It's crap. You don't want it. Don't bring it into the last phase of your life. You don't need it. You don't want it. Then I got to my stuff. That was the hard part. I couldn't believe what I had been dragging with me for decades. I had stuff that started like in my parents' house. Stuff. When I got my first apartment back in New York, I put a lot of crap from my parents, put it in a box, moved into my apartment, never opened it, didn't need it. Then I moved west, moved to California, took all the boxes. I got California crap. Got married, now it's in the house. We had kids, needed some room, put the crap in storage. Now it's back. I don't know how that happened, but here it is. We're downsizing. It's time to open these hermetically sealed time capsules. And what have I been dragging with me for 50 years? I go, look at this, sweetie, my Little League trophy. 5th place, nice effort. How about that? Your husband made a nice effort in 1965. I don't think you're aware of that. I go, look, my book report. 4th grade, Huckleberry Finn. I got an A++. Maybe the kids would enjoy reading. No, they won't. They don't. They never will. Let me help you. You don't want your crap. Imagine how much your kids don't want your crap. Because kids are not nostalgic. Kids haven't been here long enough to nostalgia. They don't have that. Kids are all looking forward. They're all about the future. Whereas you have a very limited future. Let's be honest. I don't care how old you are or what shape you're in. I'm saying every day, less future. You understand this? I can't be the first person explaining this to you. Yeah, every day, less future. So use it wisely. For God's sake, don't waste your precious days doing what I did, going through boxes of letters from girls who broke up with you in 10th grade that you've been saving on the off chance that maybe they'll rethink it and come crawling back. They're going to show up at my door now like, I don't know you remember breaking. Why would I break up with you? Pull out the letter. Does that ring a bell, sweetheart? Is that your handwriting? No, move on. That ship has sailed. You're married, she's married, plus you're both old. Things are different. The cute girl that you remember from the high school yearbook with the tight jeans and the perky sweater, she's now a 67-year-old grandmother of 5, okay? She has an arthritic hip, she doesn't hear in one ear, and you, I think we know what's happened with you. So, move on. That's what I'm saying. You ever bump into somebody you haven't seen since like high school or something? That can be a shock. That's a shocker. Because you only remember people the way you last saw them. You don't bother extrapolating and thinking how they might look. I did a show back east, and a woman came over to me after the show. Lovely woman, like 70, lovely woman, and she said, "You went to college in Binghamton, New York, didn't you?" I go, "Yes, I did." She said, "Do you remember a girl, Debbie Miller?" I said, "Oh yeah, absolutely. Is that your daughter?" She went, "No, it's me." I went, "What? No, that's not right. In fact, I have the yearbook right here. Look, let me show you. You look like that. What has happened to you? What has happened to you? I turned my back for 50 years, and you let this happen. I have mirrors in my house. I'm not shocked anymore, but you. It's not easy. It's not easy. So I was talking about my wife, and then I'll let you go. That's how I get off the phone with my friends and family. Let me let you go. That's how generous. Let me let you go. Sometimes they go, I don't have to go. All right, then let me go. One of us. I'm pulling the plug. Either way you want to play it. I talk about my marriage a lot, and I am lucky. I married a wonderful woman, and it is. We're very fortunate because we are well suited. You know what has really kept our marriage going? 2 things, really. 2. 1, and I can't stress this enough, I'm a delight. And, I'm serious. I can't express strongly enough how instrumental that has been in keeping this charade afloat. One of the things that we're lucky, and not everybody has this. We're bothered by different things, and that's really fortunate. So the things that make me crazy don't bother her. The things that make her crazy, I don't care about. They don't bother me. So it's great. One of you can be crazy. The other one is the voice of reason, right? It's a nice balance. However, it doesn't work like that all the time. It works half the time. When I'm crazed, she's great. She knows what to say. She calms me down. She is the voice of reason. On the other hand, when she's upset, not only am I of no use whatsoever, but the fact that I'm not also upset at what she's upset about makes her more upset. I don't understand. It's not enough to be empathetic, compassionate, sympathetic. No, you have to be upset. If you're not upset, you go, you know what? You don't get it. You don't get it. I go, no, sweetie, I get it. You just have a different opinion. Because you don't get it. No, I get it, but let's say we differ on this. Yeah, only because you don't get it. You don't get it. If you got it, we'd have the same opinion. But you don't get it. You don't get it. And we go back and forth. 9 hours is our record on you don't get it. And you never know what's going to just suddenly spring up out of nowhere to jeopardize a perfectly good union. We were walking on the beach in LA. We got a beach right near the water. And it was late. I didn't know it was so late. And it was a beautiful day. It was just a gorgeous golden day, and everything was great. The sun was shining, and the waves were waving, and the birds were holding hands and were walking, and the birds are overhead singing our names like in a Disney movie. That's like how perfect it is. It couldn't be better. We're walking on the beach, and we come upon a dead goat. That's what I'm saying, on the beach, a goat. A goat on a beach, not a whale, not a fish, not a seal, not something you could reasonably expect to see washed up like an exhausted triathlon swimmer. No, a goat. So my wife spots this bird. She goes, "Look, what is that? Is that a dog?" I go, the eyes are not as scrum. No, it's a big dog. We get closer. Oh my God, it's a goat. It's a dead goat. I said, So I said, wow, that's really weird. Come on, let's keep walking. And that was my mistake, right there. I see she wasn't done processing the mystery of the goat, and she needed more time to process. I was rushing her process in a way that displeased her. She said, no, wait, hang on a second, sweetie, because we were still friends at this point. So she said, no, hang on, sweetie, where would the goat come from? I said, maybe it washed up. She says, washed up? From where? It's like California and then Japan. Is a Japanese goat's not going to still be goat-shaped when it gets here. I said, well, maybe, you know what? Maybe it fell off a boat. She said, I was just trying to help her. She said, a boat? Really? Did you ever see a boat go by with goats on it? I said, you know, when you say it back, it sounds foolish. I hear it now. I know. I had no idea. I'm just trying to help her. She was hungering for an answer. She needed closure on the goat. So I said, I got it. Here it is. Are you ready? Perhaps there was a picnic. Earlier today, a family from a culture more goat-centric than our own, and they were going to barbecue the goat, but somebody got hurt, and they had to rush to the emergency room, and they neglected to pick up the goat, and maybe that's why the goat is still here. She said, okay, but then how come there's no fire pit? I didn't know it was going to be an episode of CSI. I didn't think this through. I said, I don't know, I don't get it, but can we just keep walking? It's such a beautiful day. Can we walk? She said, okay, fine. So we walked, but it's all gone. The love is gone. There's no white limits. The mood has changed. There's no affection. The sun is going down. The waves are roiling up. The birds are avoiding us because they feel the hostility beaming out of the top of her head. And the more we walk, the more upset she's getting. Not at the goat. It's just about me now. It's just on me. 10 minutes of silence, and finally she goes, I don't understand how you're not upset about the goat. You're not curious where the goat came from? I said, I'm curious, but we're never going to know. Why don't we just say it came from God? How about that? It came a mystery. A God mystery goat came and will tell the kids a funny story. Mom and Dad saw a goat on the beach. We don't know how it happened. I said, I don't. And by the way, I don't know why it's so important that you need to know where the goat came from. She said, you just don't get it. I said, I already said that. I just said, I said, I don't get the goat. I don't get the whole conversation we're having. She said, I don't even want to talk about it. I said, I don't want to talk about it. She said, fine. I said, fine. And like that, the day was shot. Do you see my point? A goat dies on a beach, and somehow I'm the bad guy. How is that possible? You know, I want to leave you with this. I said up front that I'm not going to say anything important tonight, and I changed my mind. I'm going to say something important. It's very important. I'm going to share with you nice people, the secret of life. You ready? No, relax. And it came to me in a very odd way. Years ago, a couple of years back, I made a movie and I got to work with my idol, Peter Falk. Do you all remember Peter Falk, Columbo? I grew up, he was the guy. I loved Peter Falk, and I wrote this movie where he played my father, and we got to be friends, and we were hanging out one day. And so we were talking about comedy and stuff, and I said, well, what kind of comedy do you like? And he said, well, you know, I gotta be honest, the things that make me laugh, they don't always make other people laugh. I said, well, tell me, give me an example. So he tells me the story, which I'll share with you. And it was a funny story, it made me laugh, but the more I thought about it over the years, I said, that's more than funny. This story is deep. It has hidden inside it the secret of life. And so I'll share with you. This is the story. So Peter goes to lunch in a deli, like a classic New York style deli. And a waiter, been waiting tables 100 years, seen it all, nothing phases him. He's just this cranky, tired old waiter. And at the end of the meal, waiter comes over and says, does anybody want dessert? Peter Falk says, do you have rice pudding? Guy says, yeah. He goes, right, before you write it down, I gotta ask, does it have raisins? He says, no. He says, are you sure? He says, yeah. He says, I'm asking because I can't eat a raisin. I eat raisins, it's not good. If it has raisins, I don't want it. The guy says, Mr. Falk, I don't know how else to tell you. No, we don't put raisins in the rice pudding. He says, all right, I'll have it. The waiter goes to the kitchen, comes back with his rice pudding, chock full of raisins, just like top covered on the bottom, raisins, dark in the middle, through the glass, dark with raisins. The Paul goes, hey, I thought you said there's no raisins. And the waiter just shrugged and goes, here and there you'll find the raisin. And I thought, that's what life is. Even the things you love are going to have parts that you don't love. But that's just the cost of doing business. So that's what I wish for you nice people. In the rice pudding of life, work around the raisins. Don't forget, enjoy the pudding. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you have a good time.